Welcome, one and all, to today's competition. My name is Peter Canapet Hartnell, joined by Jesper Ben Varman to bring you only the best of top quality MC5 esports. We're jumping straight into our first game today between number one from France, go up against Montrax crew from the US of A in our first quarter-final match of the day.
And you know what, Confit, I'm looking forward to seeing this map. It has quickly become my favorite map of the entire map pool here in Modern Combat 5 because of the ability to use sniper rifles quite effective on this map because of it being so open. I quite enjoy seeing how teams they adapt to the fact that, well, sniper rifles, as I said, can be utilized quite effectively.
Indeed, and we're seeing some of that as both teams actually getting up in each other's face. We can see the Bounty Hunter, which has come in and seen a lot of use recently, coming to play here. So at least we have got a variety of different weapons. The Imp we've got here, able to apply that little mine when it misses a shot. Good for close quarters combat. If you can't land the shot directly, you can at least leave a present for your opponent to discover. So far though, number one and Montrax crew, we expected this one to be a solid match to start off today's proceedings. The number 5 seed number 1 and Montrax in at number 4. We're expecting to see this go all the way to the end and hopefully end with a score draw.
Looking over here towards number 1 and Montrax crew, the last time these two guys met, it was in the favor of the Montrax crew, and they are definitely looking to give themselves the edge in this game once again. They are ahead by 3 kills. It's not a lot, but it's definitely something and the Montrax crew, they can't play with that. Looking at the scoreboard, you can see how their top fragger currently picking up 10 kills for himself. That is Senna here. Obviously, having died 6 times does mean that he's given some kills back to number 1, but has been getting those kills back in the hands for his team.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been the one leaping out in front. Mokro has got 7 kills for themselves, but hasn't managed to keep that kill-death ratio looking healthy. We can see Zena here making use of the multiple restricted sight lines on the scramble. It's very hard to see them there, but if Zena comes charging out from behind that box, a lot less confusing.
Now number 1 are fighting their way back here, finally getting some of those perks in. Bombers and auditors are being deployed for number 1, and well, that might just help them be number 1 here, Counterfeit, in this first game.
I kind of feel when you make a joke about someone's name, you have to change it a little bit. I don't know. What do you think, guys in the audience? Does that qualify as a joke?
I think it qualifies as a joke, and well, sometimes low effort is the best way to go, and well, I often go with the low effort solution.
That's so sad. Oh man, it's a tragic tale of conformity gone mad. Oh.
Have you ever heard the tragic tale of Duff Ben Varman, the I skip over where I can?
Yes, yeah, I think I rented that one.
Oh, well, getting back into the game, number 1, they are definitely pulling themselves further and further ahead of the Montrax crew now with an 8-kill lead and passing that 40-kill mark. They are looking to just win game 1 here.
Yeah, we've pretty impressive stuff, honestly. We've not just had the performance. Earlier on it was all about Zena managing to do a fantastic job, but they have accrued a massive amount of deaths in a short amount of time, plunging Montrax crew's chances absolutely down a crevasse. Number 1, only 2 away from tying this one up, and yeah, moving up towards the semi-finals. Worth noting that the number 1 seed Severe will potentially be meeting them there, but right now, that's a fantastic early game victory, or early tournament victory for number 1.
And well, that will definitely mean a lot for number 1 going in to the next game. It is the best of 3, guys. You have to keep that in mind. So now for number 1 to win here against the Montrax crew does mean that they have a little less pressure on their shoulders going into game number 2.
Certainly true, and I think the one we're going to be looking out for is Go4MC5 from that last game. Really stepped up pretty massively for team number 1. We will be headed to break. Of course, we will be starting our first giveaway over on Twitch as well. Let me just get that set up. Yep, there we go. So if you enter in hashtag RO16 to the Twitch chat at twitch.tv/ModernCombat, then you could be in with a chance of winning 400 credits. For now though guys, we'll be headed to break, and we'll catch you on the other side with game number 2 of number 1 versus Montrax crew. Alright guys, welcome back to Blue September Cup number 5 and to the second encounter between the American Montrax crew and number 1 of France.
In the last game counterfeit, number 1, they had a bit of a struggling early game against the Montrax crew. The Montrax crew, they had a great job at keeping up, but once you hit that mid game, number 1, they just ran off and they picked up a load of kills in a quick succession. That meant that the Montrax crew, they ended up falling prey to number 1.
Number 1 did a fantastic job, as you mentioned, in the late game. We'll see how things work out early on, as number 1 managed to more than equalize that first blood coming through, and C looks to try and keep the pressure up early. More kills start flowing in. Montrax crew are going to start to run into trouble here when it comes to respawning and trying to cohere in a serious fashion as a group.
But a lot of kills are already coming in here for number 1, and Montrax crew, they need to reset the game already here. They can't afford to lose this many kills to number 1 early on, because number 1, they have shown to be a very dominant team once they rack up the kills.
For sure, we've got those kill streaks already on the horizon. I don't think number 1 have actually deployed any yet. I don't think they've really even needed to, because Montrax crew have been just pushed off a cliff here, dropping points after points, spawning back in and getting mobbed by the French team the moment they hit the ground.
And all Montrax crew they have to work with is recon aircrafts. They aren't getting bombers, they don't have auto turrets to work with, and well, thus far number 1 are pulling themselves ahead by, well, right now over 14 kills. So it's a huge problem and a huge trend that the Montrax crew they have to dig themselves out of.
Veterans leading the charge with the score lead at the moment in a game where score is not hard to find at all. We will be looking at our bracket once this series is over. Certainly, right now it's looking like this series could be over at the end of this game.
It definitely is. Number 1 so far ahead at this point now. Finally for the Montrax crew, EMP strikes coming in, but they need bombers, they need auto turrets, they need to be able to regain some ground and stand their ground against number 1, because number 1, they're just running over them. They are running in with those SMGs, with those sniper rifles, and hitting those shots, running straight into the meat of number 1, and not giving them a chance even off of this respawn to catch a breath.
And number 1 looking like they're really on the road to take a pretty big scalp here from the Montrax crew. I mean, the crew have been around for a pretty long time, and there's a reason they're coming in as number 4 seed today. Yep, they've got a lot of tenure, but number 1 do as well. Looking back at some of the history, the Montrax crew most recently, I think, yes, in fact, the last time these guys met, lost out to number 1 in the second round of Blue September Cup number 4. This time round seems to be more of the same. Sadly, I think we may be saying goodbye to our bear friends from America.
It is looking like that, and it's looking to be quite a dominating victory here from number 1. 25 kills is all Montrax crew they have to talk about right now, whereas number 1 currently sitting on 48. They just need 2 more kills to tie this quarterfinal up, to conclude this chapter, and to move in to the semifinal. And number 1, they will be able to do so.
Alright, very swiftly done and executed by the number 1 team. Swift 2-0, pushing them over the edge. Just check in on where those numbers land. It is going to be team leader Veterans with the most kills in pocket. So, nicely done. So number 1 will move forward, as you mentioned, to the semi-finals. We won't be seeing number 1 for a little while, I suspect, because of waiting for the rest of the bracket to catch up with them. But while we wait for our next game, I'm going to set us up with the old custom. So if you guys would like to play on stream, well, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So once it is set up, it will be ESL123. Let me just change over the passkey details, because we are playing exclusively on iOS for the rest of the weekend. So let me just create one. So this is going to be a free-for-all. Let's bring it onto Vantage. Put all of the usual business in. So for any of you guys who come to the stream for the first time, if you want to play on stream, you'll need to make sure you've got a tier 7 or less loadout, so you can see from there, and you'll need to have the tier 3 armor, much as you would in the ESL competition. Oh, let me actually, sorry, just a sec. I realised I forgot to take off the morph. So because we can't disable the lack as ESL do, I just tend to take off the morph because no one else really uses any other weapon.
Yeah, seems reasonable, and you're such a smart guy, Counterfeit, so I'm a bit surprised that you didn't do that immediately.
Oh, nice. I was like, oh, he's giving me the compliments, and I'm like, oh wait, no, he was setting me up to look foolish. Touche, monsieur.
Again.
Oh
Well,
boy, oh boy.
A student must always tear down his teacher at some point.
It's not today. Alright, Frank, welcome to the game. I don't know if that's actually one of the great clan there, or if it's just someone with the tag. I do have to wonder, at some point, so that's something I'd like to see long-term implemented in the game. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But to be able to kind of like have organizations and things in the game, like, you know, because as we've just seen, number 1 and many other teams, you know, they're long-standing features in the Modern Combat 5 landscape. And yeah.
So you're thinking like clubs from League of Legends?
Yeah, guilds, all that good stuff.
Groups, yeah, groups from Steam, stuff like that. Yeah, so being able to actually have like a place or like just to create a group and say, okay, this is our tag and this is the people that are in our team.
Yes, I do bear in mind, guys, I'm not suggesting this is actually going to happen anytime soon, but it's a pipe dream of mine. Anyway, we will be going to break while this game does go on, so enjoy your time playing on the stream. We will be, of course, back in 7 minutes or less with the continuation of our ESL tournament. See you guys on the other side. Alright guys, welcome back to the stream. We're just coming to the end of this particular one with Woosus, which is a fun name. Doing a pretty good job, and yeah, with a full clear 7 kills ahead of the closest competition. So, Woosus, well done.
Yeah, well played, Woosus. Definitely showing up here in this free-for-all game. And, well guys, I think we are going to be running another game, seeing as we don't have a semi-final quite ready yet. So, free-for-alls it is.
Well, I do like to try and mix things up a little bit.
Now you want to play Team Deathmatch then?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
What is there in this life if it is not to form a team and go on to great dreams? So as always, tier 7 or below weapons, tier 3 or below armor, ESL 1, 2, 3, or the global chat invite I'll be spamming around the place for this next coming community game. So yes, Percep, we'll be having our ESL back online when the next game is ready, but for now, we shall let you guys entertain the masses by playing in front of the baying crowds.
Come on, Peter, don't pretend that you're not a part of the proletarians as well.
Proletariat? Oh boy. That's a $5 word.
Oh man, sorry. I didn't mean to flame you guys.
Oh man, even I'm confused. I can see number 1. I'm not sure if number 1 is associated with the number 1 team or not. I assume so, because of some of the stuff I've seen number 1's saying. But I don't know if number 1 is named after the team, or the team is named after them. I guess we'll find out.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? That's literally what you're asking right now.
Am I though?
I think you are.
Okay, so that raises a good point. Jesper, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Oh, hey, Big Gorilla.
Well, I'd imagine that the chicken came first because they probably evolved from some other animal, I'd guess.
You see, personally, I would imagine... I think the question is a little bit hard to kind of, like, make sure you're really answering the same question as each other. Because, all else being equal, to me it would seem like the egg is going to be the thing that comes first, because so many things were being born from eggs long before chickens were around.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the first chicken was, or the first thing that's recognized... Like, anything on the spectrum of, like, what you would recognize as a chicken came from an egg. I would have thought so.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you're saying, oh, so you're literally taking my theory and then saying, you're right, Jesper, but then the egg must have come first because the first chicken had to evolve from other animals and, well, be born from an egg. Right?
Well, you're right, apart from the part where you said that I said that you were right.
Nice.
So, we are half right, which is almost the same thing as right. We have got some news from Soldier Girl, our admin today. Our next match will be Wins Again versus Score Gaming, so that should be coming up relatively soon. May mean that we'll have to take a duck out of this particular team battle unless we get a whole bunch of people turning up immediately. We'll see though. If we manage to get this game started, then we can at least leave you guys to play while we get ready for our next ESL encounter. I think because we've got people up to the semi-finals already, we will be drawing our Modern Combat Twitch giveaway winner relatively soon, so get your entries in there while you can. Hashtag RO16 into twitch.tv/Modern Combat's channel, and I guess we'll probably draw the Twitch giveaway after the next ESL match is concluded. That's not this. Sorry, next ESL game, not the next ESL match, but just one game. There we go, 2v2, enough to get started with, and I suspect we'll jump out fairly soon.
So the egg or the chicken?
Uh-huh.
I guess you're right in the sense that in order for something to evolve, you'd have to have something that could be recognized as a chicken be born from an egg. So I guess your explanation is probably the better one.
Well, of course.
But that's when you combine the two theories, of course.
Wait, which two theories?
Well, yours about the egg and mine about evolving.
Yeah, I guess.
Evolution, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at some point you had like a proto-chicken, which is whatever it was before a chicken. Like a chicken?
A dinosaur chicken.
Dino chicken. I did hear
Dino chicken.
I did hear recently that the correct connection between dinosaurs and chickens is apparently a lot stronger than was originally thought. Vision 301's very impressed by your hard thinking about what came first. You see,
this is what happens when I'm reaching 2 a.m. in the morning. I get to think about the egg and the chicken question.
They're the big questions. I've done a quick Google on 202 philosophical questions.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, we could go for riddles as well.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, riddles could be fun.
Let's see. Some of the older riddles are really a little bit tough to actually do because they refer to stuff that isn't really common anymore.
I had one of my pupils ask me a riddle the other week. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, well, I guess we can pitch it to the chat as well.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So you're stuck in a room, and you have to pick a door in order to get out of that room. You can see in the top of the room, in the top of the room, you can see a window outside, where you can see daylight and you can see nature. But you have to pick between 3 different doors in order to figure out which one you have to pick in order to get out without dying.
Wait, you lost me already. We start again.
Okay, sorry. Alright. So
So you're in a room. This is
you're in a room. There's a window in
high up
in the roof. There's a window.
Okay, so how high is okay, so
you can't reach it.
Okay, it's out of reach, sure.
Yeah, but you can see out.
This doesn't really feel like a riddle.
Come on, man. Relax.
Okay.
Okay, so in the roof, there's a window you can see out.
Yeah,
and you can't reach it. You have to pick between 3 doors. In door number 1, there's a lot of... It's so cold that if you open the door, you'll die from cold.
Sure.
Yeah. In room number 2, there's a lot of mirrors that all reflect the sun. So if you open that door, you'll be killed by the sun because it's so hot. And in room number 3, there's a lot of deadly vipers. So if you open that one up, you'll die by the deadly vipers. Which door do you have to choose in order to get out without dying?
I'm guessing this isn't the kind of puzzle question where it's just like cheat. Or maybe it is. Let's see, so the only things which really got in play here are the so there's a window in the ceiling which you can't reach, and potentially I kind of feel like the answer here is involving interacting with the window in the ceiling in some fashion. Though I think some of the logic doesn't really make sense in terms of the open the door with full of incredibly bright sunlight. Like, why that would kill you immediately. But I'll have to take it on faith. The thing is like, when I have to take it on faith that I die as soon as I open a room full of vipers, then I kind of like, I feel like I can't really engage with it.
Code, by the way. We have a code.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I'm not sure. Well, so picture to you guys. If you're in a room with a which only features are a window in the ceiling and 3 doors, one of which leads to murderous cold, one which leads to murderous sunlight, and one which leads to murderous snakes. What's your approach to solving that particular problem? Let us know in the chat, guys, if you can follow that, because I could barely do it, and I listened to it about 3 times in a row. So let us know what you think.
You might be a bit too tired as well, Peter.
That's true. Well, if any of you guys can solve it, let us know, and yeah, we'll pop back in with that at the end of this next coming game between Wins Again versus Score Gaming. We'll be into the pre-game lobby in just a moment. Oh, hey, Hero Gaming Simon. And Sahand will be getting started just now. There we go, let's jump into the lobby and update everything on here. So, Score Gaming playing over in the red to start with, and Wins Again in the blue. We'll be getting started as soon as the players are ready to go, which I think should be pretty soon. But until then, we'll take a micro break and see you as soon as the game starts. Alright guys, welcome back to our first encounter between Wins Again and Score Gaming Conversion, our destination. We'll see what these guys have got for us today. I think this is going to... Oh wow, there's actually a semi-final. Flippin' heck, that's gone through quickly. Well, in that case, we're going to accelerate things a little bit. And our winner over on Twitch will be Montrax Beta. Montrax Beta, please post your dog tag and platform on Twitch. So Montrax Beta, congratulations. So, to the game in hand. Wins Again and Score Gaming going at things. Let's see, so Wins Again, I don't think I've seen these guys before. They are from, and this will be the time, Qatar. Huh. I'm not even sure what that is.
Qatar?
Yeah.
Oh, if I'm not quite mistaken, it's next door to Saudi Arabia, right? Oh, wait, never mind, Bahrain. It's next door to Bahrain. Or Bahrain?
Blue Beetle. I'll have to take a look at your channel after we're done here. But yes, I mean, I certainly, I know that hacks...
it is actually next door to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, there you go. But yes, as far as your question, Blue Beetle, about getting into commentating, I think usually like the most straightforward way is just to commentate Modern Combat 5 videos yourself on your own channel. And if you can do that, then you can pretty much do it on here. It's just a case of getting good enough at doing it and talking to Riddle, really. But yes, to the game itself. Arcade's doing pretty amazingly so far. 7-0 untouched with that BSW and a pretty strong accuracy as well. Thomas will get the first pick off, of course, the moment we start talking about them. But Wins Again look like they're in real trouble already.
And to be fair, Score Gaming coming in as seed number 2, meaning that they obviously are the favorite team here in this matchup, as Wins Again are seed number 6. It does mean that Score Gaming, being so dominant that we all know them, are higher seeded up, gets a preferable matchup, but also have that glory of telling everyone that, hey guys, we are better seeded, so therefore we should have the edge.
Montrax Beta over on Twitch, we need your dog tag and your platform. So you've just posted your dog tag there, we need both in order to be able to get your price sent across the hand. I'm not Hackster, I'm Counterfeit, but the giveaways will take 2 to 3 weeks to arrive, so if you've been waiting longer than that, that's winter. when to perhaps be a little bit more concerned about it. But yes, back to the match itself. So, gum attacks. As always, there we go. Leader of the score team. Not actually the strongest performer on the team so far. It's been Assassin who's been tearing into things, actually switching across to the Cog V with its big old pile of grenades. As Score Gaming pile into wins again, hunting them down wherever they hide. And I don't think anywhere is safe for the blue team.
Wins again are not getting a chance to breathe here in this first game between Score Gaming and them. Right now, Score Gaming 37 kills and Wins again only having 22. It's not proving very well for Wins again.
For sure. Time is running out for the team from Qatar. Having looked a little bit at their team entry, it doesn't seem like they've got too much mileage in the tournament. They did play against Reloaded Army and Destiny in their first tournament appearance. As you might expect, going up against Destiny, one of our top teams, didn't go so well for them. Now Score Gaming going to be another training partner for the new team to try and build them up into a force to be reckoned with, or perhaps break them on the journey there.
However, we do have to add that this first game most likely will be over very soon. Score Gaming, they only have to pick up 4 more kills, and Wins again, they are not in a position to really claw themselves back, and we all know how chaotic these Modern Combat 5 games can be. Score Gaming, they could win in a blink of an eye. Right here, picking up 3 kills out of nowhere, picking up the last one with a grenade from Assassin, and that's going to be Score Gaming picking up 50 kills. So, Wins again, they're going to have to prove themselves going into game 2, or else they're just going to fall prey very fast in this semi-final.
Alright guys, so next giveaway will be on Facebook, facebook.com/moderncombat. Type in, actually let's get it changed over to, actually no, hashtag quarter's okay. So hashtag quarter into the Facebook comments of the current live video in order to enter on facebook.com/moderncombat. We will be taking a break to get set up for our second game between Wins Again and Score Gaming. We'll catch you on the other side. Alright guys, welcome back. We're heading on to Scramble for the second encounter between Wins Again and Score Gaming. We're already in our semi-finals, thanks to Soldier Go running things all kinds of quick behind the scenes. So we're on Facebook already. Do remember to get your entries in there while you can. We'll be drawing those fairly soon, I imagine. Hashtag quarter on our Facebook video to enter.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this map will play out between Wins Again and Score Gaming, because map number 1, Score Gaming, they played super aggressive. Now Scramble is a map that's known to favor snipers. It's open and there's a lot of places you can hide. You can use those long range snipers effectively, and for Wins Again, that might just be the way for them to win against Score Gaming, so that Score Gaming can't play this aggressively.
That Score with the early advantage at least. Rayan's got a decent high ground position, takes out Assassin as well. Assassin being one of the major players for Score in the past, so that's a decent start for Wins Again, who actually take the lead for themselves. Now it's worth noting that for the Wins Again lineup, we are seeing a few familiar faces in there. Diari, a player who's been around for quite a long time in a few different capacities. Just going to bring up their team entry off screen to confirm my suspicions. But we tend to get this, you know, we get new teams coming in, doesn't necessarily mean all the players are new as well.
Now that is true, and for Wins Again, having some experience, having some old timers to draw their strength from might just be the way for them to win against Score Gaming. Score Gaming, the team from Mexico, they have proved themselves time and time again in Modern Combat 5 tournaments, and well, they want to do it once again here in this semi-final, already having won one match against Wins Again. Now, it's a super slow match this time around. Score Gaming, they're biding their time, and they're not going out aggressive against Wins Again, which means that Wins Again currently is sitting with a 2-kill lead. Make that 3.
Yeah, Thomas doing a really nice job there, tearing through gum attacks as well. Wins Again suddenly finding the wins in their sails. Now it comes to the different style of map. We'll see if they can keep this up though. As you mentioned, Score Gaming, very much a veteran team as a lineup that have been under pressure before. I think that's going to be a little bit off-putting for Score Gaming to have the first game go so well and suddenly Wins Again to, you know, be showing up in such good form.
For Score Gaming, it definitely must feel a little bit bad right here to not be able to play as aggressive as they would love to. They are a team that's all about the early bird catching the worm, about going in there and going ham. Now, that's what we're seeing right here now, with the bombers being deployed, with their drones coming out, with those auto turrets being a thing. Score Gaming, they're picking themselves back up, and they've just now equalized the score and actually got out ahead.
Yeah, really impressive stuff as Score overtake Wins Again and start slamming through some of those kills. Look what their numbers are landing. It's Assassin who's keeping those kills up high, but deaths down low as Wins Again early optimism may evaporate in the face of the Score Gaming firepower.
Bomber being deployed by Score Gaming. They want to pick up the kills on Wins Again and not allow them to get inside the hangars here on Scramble. Assassin really picking up the slack now, having 4 kills for himself. Danny picking up 3 kills with that bomber. That's huge for Score Gaming and will give them a huge kill lead to work with.
I mean, Score Gaming, definitely a legacy team. Danny, very much a legacy player, along with, of course, Go Attacks around for a tremendous amount of time. I don't think we've even got the numbers on that one for how long these guys have been playing, but I think, yes, going from the Score Gaming main listing, their main team has been around for over a year playing in these Modern Combat 5 tournaments, and I can barely remember tournaments where Score Gaming were not here. Right now, it's looking like Score are almost about to book their ticket to the finals if they can keep Wins Again from making another big push back.
In the early game, Score Gaming, they were having trouble against Wins Again. And now Score Gaming, they just waited. They said, okay, we need to just hang on, a little while, allow ourselves to catch our breath, and then group up together. And once we reach that 2-minute mark, the 3-minute mark, then we can push aggressively. And once again, they will have a hard time coming back because of us having so many kills all of a sudden.
Zune does get a couple through there for wins again. Zune with that content creator tag. Oh, I tell a lie actually. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. So for any of you guys who have noticed those in your game, anyone who's got a little camera next to that icon is one of the YouTubers in the content creator program, like Go4MC5 is there with a lovely 3-kill pickup. I assume if you head to Go4MC5's channel, you'll see that thrown into the highlight reel.
Oh, definitely will be. Now we are following Fabian right here, picking up a kill for himself with that sniper rifle. Score Gaming just having passed that 40 kill threshold, and once again barely past the 30 kill.
It's looking pretty dire for the Jordanian team's chances. 1 minute left to play, 14 ahead for score. I mean, you know, it's unrecognizable from the early game, but Danny, you mentioned before, long-time score player. When it comes to a crisis, that's when Danny comes alive, and that's exactly what they've done in this game. More or less saving Score Gaming entirely off that individual performance. 17 kills is ludicrous.
And a beautiful game nonetheless for Score Gaming. Even though we talked about how once again they were doing well in the early game, that they were so happy about the fact that they could use the sniper rifles, they still managed to come out ahead on the side of Score Gaming and push through, even though once again just picked up those few kills in the early game and and were able to create for themselves a kill lead.
Alright guys, so as far as our Facebook giveaway goes, I'm just going to check where we are in the tournament. I think we've probably got another semi-final coming up. Number 1 already there. Severe and S2CLR are battling in the quarters to make it up. So, because we're going to have a few giveaways before we're done, I think we'll call the Facebook one early. So, let's see. So, our Facebook winner will be J. Sid Hills. J. Sid Hills, please post your dog tag and your platform. So that's your dog tag from your profile and your platform being iOS, Android or PC. For now, though, while you get onto that, we're going to set ourselves up with our community game to play during the break. So ESL123 as always, how to get in on that one. And congratulations once more to Score Gaming, who will be going through to the finals. We will be shortly finding out, of course, who will be joining them. So Jesper, free-for-all or team battle, or perhaps something else entirely?
Ooh, well, give me that free-for-all, Peter. I quite like that.
Alright.
It's always exciting to see some free-for-all and just see everyone go ham and see who is the superior warrior and this biggest beast.
Yes, warriors aplenty in the museum. Let's get historical? Yeah.
Okay.
So, Montrax Beta, I'm sorry if I've been unclear as to what I'm saying, but we need not just your dog tag, but also your platform. So maybe, so your platform is the device you're playing on. Is it an iOS device? Is it an Android device? Is it a PC? We need that as well as your dog tag. Otherwise, it will not work.
Or is it a toaster? Or even a hamster-driven PC?
There you go, Estrada's trying to help them out. Thank you, Estrada. But yeah, like, I know that's a lot of time I'm trying to think if there might be a better way of saying than platform. I don't know. But I kind of feel like if you say device someone's playing on, then it kind of sounds like you're asking, you know, for their device model number. But I'll have to think of a better one that might translate a little bit better. Or be a little bit more obvious. Because I know that there's a lot of people from a lot of different countries listening to this. Okay, Montrax Beaters, you're playing on iOS. That's great. So I'll get you marked down as our Twitch giveaway winner. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And yep, we will just get a few bodies in here to play during the break. And we'll be back with our next ESL in hopefully just a few minutes. As I said, there's still a fair amount to go on. I think it's quite likely we'll come back with our straight into the next semi-finals, but we'll see how it plays out. So B-Sal and Danny S. Danny 3? Yeah, if you guys want to come in, same as always, ESL 123. And also over on Facebook again, just to make sure that you see it. So that's J Sid Hills. Come one, come all.
Oh yeah, please all do come and play in this free-for-all match at the museum. It's a night at the museum.
Oh yeah, I already made that joke about 1,000 times already. It's terrible.
Yeah, well.
Wait, quick, let's do a Google for museum-based jokes. Ha, ha. Museum-based jokes. Alright.
Can you actually find some?
Okay, I think maybe this would be right. Oh
man, Peter.
It's kind of lame.
Maybe you should just like stay at the museum because you're so old. You're basically a fossil at this point.
Well, you can tell it's late. Even the abuse has taken a turn for the worse.
So Peter, how do you feel it's going in terms of getting people into the lobby?
Well, sometimes it can take people a while. I think because they'll be in other games and such before they can make it in. But we'll see. If you can just get, I usually try and go for about 3 people for a free-for-all to get started with, just to make sure the game does start with 2 people. If somebody leaves, then the game just cancels. So, But
yeah.
We've got Beta. That's actually our, I presume, our Twitch winner.
Ooh. Nah, he left again.
Nah, he's just unassigned.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, there we go. Oh wow, okay, maybe I should start covering up the chat in the, there we go.
You know what, Confit? We could play Hangman with Twitch chat. Or the YouTube chat.
Oh, we could. We could play it with Hero Gaming Simon and his amazing 3 faces.
Ooh. And I wish I had 3 faces. If I had 3 faces, I could eat triple the amount of ice cream.
I don't think really the ice cream acquisition rate is a
Well, I could eat it 3 times as fast.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
How do you feel like if you have 3 faces? Do you? I'd imagine you also have 3 brains then, or 3 heads, right?
I would think so.
So how do you feel? How do you think brain freezes they work with 3 heads?
That's a tough question. Well, I imagine if you're sharing one set of internal organs, then if you get brain freeze in one, you probably get brain freeze in all 3, because you're getting the same information up your spinal cords. But I don't know. I suspect while that might be the case on paper, it requires science.
Let science decide.
Alright, well, we're going to get this one started since we've got a break game. If it doesn't work out, we'll just have to go to a regular break. I suspect that, what's another meaning of old? Old equals gold. I don't know if you're trying to be supportive, but I'm going to assume that you are, and thank you kindly. Alright guys, so if you want to join in and play on stream during the break, just use the passkey ESL123, and we'll catch you guys on the other side. Alright guys, we are back here again. We are waiting on our next ESL match to begin, which I assume is going to be number 1 versus the winner of Severe and S2 CLR. But I think there must have been some sort of hold up there, perhaps some admin business to discharge. So, Jesper, we have another game to deliver to the fine folks watching here today.
Ooh.
So, let me bring you on a whistle-stop tour of all the modes. So we've got free-for-all, we have team battle. So far, so straightforward. We have capture the flag. Not a mode we get to see very often because, and I'm going to try and push for this down the line to kind of be made into a more universally useful mode because the maps aren't really made for capture the flag so much. But it's a mode you can play. Hey PDX over on Twitch, how you doing? So that's something. There's also zone controls, or domination as it's called in various different places, which is, as you might expect, get to a place, take it over, get points, and then you win. But the times I've played it on stream, people just kind of tend to ignore it and just shoot each other in the face. So I mean, it's theoretically, I feel like maybe it would work better as a competitive game type, just because the more coordinated the team is, the more meaningful the whole zone control is. There's VIP, where as far as I'm aware, you only get points for killing the VIP. I'm not 100% certain on the rules, so I don't really play this game mode. I think the VIP can also score points by getting kills, but you mainly score points by killing the VIP. And that's, I've seen that played a lot. And Rush, which is our tiebreaker game mode, which is similar to other first-person shooters. It's an elimination style. You can buy upgrades as you go, but it tends to just be used for competitive because once you die, you're out of a round, so a lot of people spend a lot of the time not playing because they're dead. And then also cargo. So, we've seen that mode in a few other games, which is basically just an objective pushing mode. Try and get it as far as possible on your turn, then you swap over, and the other team does the same on theirs.
Okay. Well, I'd like to see capture the flag. Honestly.
Okay.
I've always been a huge fan of capture the flag ones.
Alrighty, so let's see. I'm trying to think of a good capture the flag map. I think cargo. Canals. I think is pretty decent. So keeping fast spawn off is pretty necessary. Otherwise, no one can ever get anywhere near the flag.
Yeah.
But at some point, guys, I'm going to try and see if we can get a proper capture the flag map in, where it's kind of built specifically for capture the flag, or at least it's a variant built for it, rather than just being on the pre-existing maps. We'll see. It might never happen, but it's one of my goals. I'll explain this to Jesper offline, but just so you guys understand what the heck Hero Gaming Simon is talking about, there used to be an advert for Modern Combat, in the Modern Combat game, for ice cream that involved a dog. I don't really know why, it just did. And I did some research and found out that ice cream is very bad for dogs. So, yeah, if you've got a dog, don't give them ice cream. But frozen yogurt is apparently alright. I'm not a vet. So, don't use me as a opportunity to, kind of do it without doing your due diligence yourself. But I'm just saying, ice cream, definitely bad. Frozen yogurt might be alright. Universal Lotus, if you want to get into tournaments, then there's a couple of things that will be relevant to you. So you've got the ESL website itself, which you can sign up through. You'll need a team though before you can really do that. So if you head across to the ESL Discord, then you can go into the recruitment channel and find yourself a team through there. And then once you've got that team, go to the ESL website and sign up through the link that's been dropped into the chat. So we probably want, I'd say, about 3 on each team for a capture the flag. I think, yeah, that's about right. Because too many, you just kind of can't really get anywhere because there's too many people around just constantly killing each other. But, Jesper, okay, so you sound like you know what you're talking about when it comes to the capture the flag, particularly. So,
well, I played my fair bit of Team Fortress 2.
Of course. So, alright, so if we're coming into this one, you're providing, this is the Jesper mentorship program for people who want to capture that flag. Hero Gaming Simon. That's okay, looking after your dog from afar. Yeah, so I'm coming into this one. Let's just say for the sake of argument, I've never played a capture the flag game before. You know, what should I be aware of?
Well, obviously you want to capture the flag. First of all.
Well, I mean, that's the first clue was in the name, but yes.
Yeah, okay. So, what is very important for capture the flag is pushing together as a team. You want to be able to make as strong a push as possible and to wipe the entire team. If you can push together as 2 or 3 members, then you should be able to have the man advantage in terms of firepower. Plus, you should be able to then also have someone running back while you're able to cover your ends. Now, talking about this game in general, red team are at a man disadvantage in generals or in totals. So obviously they are in a bit of a pickle and they have to push together as a team. They can't really wait for the blue team to come up to them and try and gain their flag. So they have to push in and be the aggressors.
Alright, we can see DMC has got the flag in the wild. So as you mentioned, B-Sao is going to provide that back support. So being basically a bullet shield, yeah, the red team have worked really well together here to make that flag capture. I don't know what the blue team is doing, honestly. I think they're chasing after them, but they're not going to catch up with them, but just running immediately after them.
No, it's looking like the blue team, they weren't quite communicating. I think these look like they were just standing around, but nonetheless, it does mean that the red team will have a 1-point advantage going in to this start of the game now. Are pushing out again, and obviously without the quick respawns here, it does mean that the blue team, they are going to be having troubles once the red team, they actually push in to the base of them.
So the canals map is one of the reasons why I'm hoping to kind of work with Gameloft to put together a more, you know, a capture flag map that's just a little bit modified to allow it to work a bit better. You'll notice that up here, where number 4 is, basically the red spawn is almost right next to their flag, which means that, I mean, again, I'll call on your experience as someone who plays a fair bit of capture the flag. I'm assuming that the spawn should be in a position where you can either choose to go defend the flag or choose to go and attack, as opposed to while you're spawning, you're also defending.
Yeah, that is correct. That would be the best way to go around it. I have to admit though, my favorite mode in terms of like shooting games will always be capture points. I think that's the superior mode in terms of just having the ability to push forward while also defending, instead of being a capture the flag where once you have that flag and you ran miles ahead of the enemy team, you will not be able to catch up with them. So I think that capture points is just more interesting in terms of being able to make comebacks.
I think that's fair enough. Let's see. Okay, looks like we have got our next ESL match, Severe versus number 1, coming up in just a few moments. So we'll have to leave you guys to try and capture all the flags that you can find around the place. And yeah, we'll be back with our next round of ESL competition in hopefully just a few moments. Let's see, so yes, we mentioned before the idea of this being our second semi-final, and I think that will be the case. So S2CLR, I believe from Turkey, yes, gonna get knocked out in the quarters. Severe, our number 1 seed, now move forward to face off against their next opponents, number 1, to see who will go and face Score Gaming in the grand finals. We've got the pass key. I'll just check that we can get in on that. Alright, I think it might not be up for a minute or two. So, when we return, we'll get into the pre-game lobby, and then we'll get this second semi-final underway in just a few minutes. See you then. Alright guys, so I believe, yes, number 1 versus Score Gaming, our grand finals will be coming up shortly. If we can, we'll see if we can fit in a zone control game on Scramble. I don't know how quickly we're going to get that key. It might almost be straight away. If it is, we'll come back to this a bit later on, because I'm seeing that the grand finals is getting set up at the moment. But if we get the chance, we'll get to go into this one. So we've had a bit of discussion off stream. Let me just run through for Jesper and for any of you guys who haven't seen it before. So the way zone control works is you've got 3 capture points on the map. And to capture a point, you just stand in there for a certain amount of time and it turns your team's color. If you control more points than the opposing team, then you'll start running their tickets down a bit faster, and whichever team runs out of tickets first loses. So yes, but is this at all similar to your idea of what this kind of game mode would be?
No. So what you're describing to me is domination, right?
Yeah.
The mode you'd know from Battlefield or for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking of when I'm hearing capture point, I'm thinking 5 points. Where, like in Team Fortress 2, where you have 1 neutral in the middle, then you have 2 that are owned by each team, and then you have to get all 5 in order to win the round. That's what I'm thinking when I hear capture point.
Interesting. I've not heard of that. I don't think I've come across that specific mode before. That seems something that could go on for quite a while.
That's yeah, it could. But it's the mode that they play in the European Team Fortress 2 League, which I used to play in.
I never knew that. Yeah,
that's, oh man, it's been like 6 to 7 years ago. But I used to play in the European Team Fortress 2 League. I was an up-and-coming scout player, but like I practiced too hard and eventually my hand just gave up. So now I have like wrist problems.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, well, stuff happens.
Oh, well, I'll have to talk to Riddle about that. Maybe we can get because that sounds like it'd be quite possible to get a similar game mode going in this, because it sounds like it's just a variant on the standard zone control. So maybe, I don't know. I think that potentially could be a new one. So, like, I'm trying to think of how that would play out as a game. So you've kind of...
Well, I think it would work extremely well for 1.5. Oh wait, I think we might have a key, by the way.
Oh, yes we do. So we mentioned before we might have to jump out of this game, and I think we are going to. But fortunately, I don't think we had too many people join us as yet. So number 1 versus Score Gaming, our grand finals of the day. We have the pass key. Hopefully, the players are ready to receive. I believe Score Gaming will be hosting up the first one. We'll be heading onto streets. Looks like the players are pretty much ready to go straight away. So, we'll be jumping there in just a moment. Score Gaming have been waiting patiently. I know you all have as well. But we're just a few moments away from starting the first game of a potential 5 between Mexico's Score Gaming and number 1, who we've been impressed by so far. With their performance against the Montrax crew.
Oh yeah, definitely we definitely were impressed by number 1, how they were able to take down Montrax crew, and Montrax crew, they definitely are a team that you have to respect, and they've been a part of so many tournaments, but falling prey already in the start of the tournament to the side of number 1, already losing in the quarterfinals. Wasn't something that we saw coming. Now, they're going up against Score Gaming, so they definitely had to take on a whole nother beast here in this grand final.
So let's just take a look across at the contenders we've got playing here today. So for the side of number 1, they're headed up by Captain Bofon. And for Score Gaming, of course, we've got Gunma Tax, you remember from before, along with Arcade Assassin Danny, all those familiar faces we've seen around. Though, to be fair, number 1 have had their fair share of tournaments as well. Winners back in September of one of the cups there, taking out Destiny and Score Gaming on the way. So Score, in theory at least, come in as the underdogs in this particular encounter. We'll see if history is going to be repeated on the streets.
And game number 1 in our grand final of today is about to load in. Are you ready, Peter? Because I am very much hyped for this grand final.
My body is ready. Coco is ready to get puffed? I don't know. As the first kill falls across to Arcade. So remember Arcade from before? Let's see if we can find them. Well, not the last place we looked. Did some pretty astonishing performance since before. We'll see if they can keep it up again. We'll throw up the map and see how the teams are progressing. So thankfully, we are not seeing any of those shenanigans of trying to hide on either side of the map. Instead, we'll be seeing the old classic version of Streets, which is run straight at each other and shoot each other in the face.
Ooh, the good old one. But Score Gaming currently are up in terms of kills against number 1. It's not something you see every day. Score Gaming playing this slow and steady and not trying to be chaotic, but for number 1, it's working out well for them because they are currently in the lead and they have already deployed bombers.
Yeah, looking pretty good, both on. Remember from before, the captain of the number 1 team getting some good reps in on Score Gaming and managing to break the early deadlock. Veterans, as the name suggests, has been around for a while. War has changed them and made them into the monster you'll be seeing here on this particular battlefield.
It's looking like Score Gaming, they're having so much trouble here in the early game and having troubles finding those kills. Historically, between number 1 and Score Gaming, number 1, they have been the better team back in Blue September Cup. Number 2, number 1, they won over Score Gaming 2-0 in the semifinal, proving that they were number 1 in that matchup, and they want to prove that they can be number 1 in this matchup too.
Alright, so in the early going, number 1 have managed to assert themselves pretty strongly. Taco gets their first kill as the rest of the squad roam around the streets, trying to keep Score back on their toes. We can see as each Score member is coming in, they are getting picked off, and that lead keeps on growing for number 1. Score need to try and find some sort of way to find their feet, bring back their units together so they can cover each other's backs, or it's just going to get worse from here.
Airstrikes coming in from number 1, as you said, just gonna get worse. And Score Gaming, they need to stop using those sniper rifles, pick up the shotguns, pick up the SMGs, and then just go ham against number 1, because you've tried these sniper rifles, it hasn't worked out. Danny, however, he's definitely working out with this sniper rifle, picking up 6 kills for himself. Here comes Score Gaming, however, they're coming in with those SMGs, but number 1, they're just stronger and better at hitting those shots.
Yeah, it was a chance for Score Gaming to turn this one back around, but that encounter on the open streets, nowhere to hide. And ultimately, just as you said, number 1 proved themselves superior in the straight fight. We'll see what Score do with this information, if they could find a way to adapt and overcome, or if they'll just throw themselves up against the brick wall that is team number 1.
Even Superman has his weaknesses counterfeit, and for Score Gaming, it's looking like that Kryptonite will be number 1, as we're currently sitting at a 10 kill deficit for Score Gaming. Now, you do see Danny coming up here, but he will be returned, and Coco and Tiberius will be picking up some kills for themselves, so Score Gaming, they're not out of it quite yet.
So of course, for all of you Score Gaming fans, we always turn our eyes to Danny on the Score Gaming side. We mentioned before in previous rounds, when Score Gaming are up with their backs against the wall, Danny is the one who tends to come out with the amazing performances, but so far it has not happened. This is a best of 5, we've got a long way to go, but right now number 1 are looking extremely strong, and it's going to be Insanity. Very, very long time Modern Combat 5 player who's putting on the championship performance here as number 1 look to take the lead in the series.
12 kills and 6 deaths. Insanity is definitely having an insane performance right here. And now Score Gaming, they're about to lose this first game. That's not what we expected, but number one definitely coming in and proving themselves that they are the better team.
At least these streets will lay testament to that fact. Number one doing extremely well. Let's take a look at those numbers. You can see the cold grey visage of number one. No mercy to be found there. Only waffle irons. Insanity, as you can see, rocking up the top of the scoreboard. We'll see if they can keep it going. So we will be starting our YouTube giveaway in just a few moments. I'm just going to get that set up on the Nightbot. For now though, guys, we'll be headed to break. And the next game of our grand finals will be coming up in 7 minutes or less. Alright guys, welcome back to our grand finals. Score Gaming now in the blue, number 1 in the red. First game pretty firmly in number 1's hands. I'm going to see that number 1 have the fans in the chat. But we'll see if the construction site may change the fortunes, change the direction of our finals, or if number 1 will continue to dominate.
And now, kind of fit, I know you haven't updated it yet, but we don't want to confuse our viewers. Number 1, obviously, there you go, our 1-up here in this series, Score Gaming, not having that best game, best performance in game 1. Number 1 coming out swinging off the gates, and now Score Gaming, they are actually just copying number 1 in game 1 and showing that they are here to put that metal to the pedal.
Well, yes, but this is how I imagine the locker room for Score Gaming was. You know, you've got Gum Attacks. It's got the the 15-a-day cigarette habit as the leader of Score Gaming. You know, the crushing victory for number 1. Gum Attacks like, hey guys, we need to do better in game number 2. And Assassin's like, hey, I'll do it. I'll kill all of them. And that's how it went. That's my headcanon.
Well, thus far, Assassin definitely is showing up, getting 4 kills and only dying once thus far. Now that's 2 kills. 2 kills that he's given over, that is. But definitely Score Gaming, they are doing much better in this game. But now number 1, they are fighting back, and for Score Gaming, all of these recon aircrafts, the drones, aren't exactly helping out. They need bombers and they need airstrikes, and they need them fast if they want to continue to keep this tempo up.
Oh, Gum Attacks running a triple kill there. Score Gaming, they started out this one strong. They're finding some good ways to get through. So, one thing I love about casting in the Modern Combat 5 is when I still, having seen people play on these maps, probably hundreds of times at this point, I'm still finding surprises. So Assassin, a little way back there, was firing through the pipes. I've never seen anyone actually do that before, but it worked pretty darn well. I mean, Score Gaming, they're being pushed to the edge here by number 1, which is forcing them to pull out every trick that they've got in their bag, and so far it's working pretty well. I think number 1, if anything, are going to be shocked that Score Gaming have come back this strongly.
Even though the game isn't very close in terms of the kills, I do feel like overall the momentum of the game is super close. These 2 teams, they are evenly matched, and we are just teetering on a knife's edge between these 2 teams. Now, Score Gaming, having a lot of auto turrets, are helping them out, but number 1, they're not easy prey, and they will not give up without a fight, as we currently are seeing a score of 34-27.
Now, yes, but I promised you in the Land Before Time, that was the previous game, when Score Gaming were in the most dire of needs, that's when Danny would step up. Certainly seems to be the case this time round, with the highest individual score in the whole game. But the whole of Score Gaming, honestly, really stepping up to the plate here. Assassin picking up more, but Insanity falls. Anyone who strays within the sights of Danny evaporates instantly.
Danny, 14 kills for himself, has been the catalyst for success here for Score Gaming, and will probably be the catalyst for them winning the second game right here, and overall tying the scoreline up to a 1-1 between Score Gaming and number 1.
Really impressive stuff. It takes a lot of mental fortitude for a team to recover from a loss, especially a pretty definitive loss. Last time round, it was 11 kill advantage for number 1, and it looks like it might almost be the same number this time, though number 1 are making a last-second attempt at a comeback. I have to think it's miles too late.
It is. They cannot give up one more kill. It would be quite the comeback if they'd make it now, but Score Gaming, they do end up just concluding this chapter, picking up that last kill. Number 1, they fought valiantly, they fought their way back, but it wasn't enough, and Score Gaming, they tie up the series 1-1.
Alright, we have got a series on our hands, and this is exactly what we like to see. Certainly a lot of fire being brought out here, and we get to see how this will develop over the whole best of 5. Now it's number 1 in the position where they need to come back and show what they are made of. YouTube giveaway is currently live, so do head across there, drop the hashtag funnels into the YouTube comments. Do bear in mind, multiple entries will mean your entry, all of your entries will become discounted, so be careful guys. Get your entries in while you can. That will end when the series is done, but it's far from over. At least 2 more games coming, hopefully 3. Next one coming up after the break. Alright guys, welcome back to our grand finals, and what a comeback from Score Gaming in the last game. Pretty much off the back of Danny's performance, Beast Mode did get activated. Score Gaming threatened to be run down 2-0 in this best of 5 series, but Danny stepped up 16 kills in the last game. Now we go on to Scramble, and Jesper, what's Scramble known for?
Well, it's known for its ability to promote snipers because of it being such an open map. But I'm looking forward to this matchup on this map because stylistically, the two teams, number one and Score Gaming, both of them, they like to play very chaotic and they like to utilize the SMGs and the shotguns. So this is not really a map made for these two teams.
We'll see who ends up getting the early advantage. So far, so good, though. Crispy dropping out from the number one side, but it's Insanity stepping into that breach. The moment was there for Score Gaming to take advantage, but you know, we were looking to see who would be stepping up for number one into the same sort of space that Danny occupied in the previous game. You know, that kind of solo carry. Do you think Insanity can do the same for number one that Danny did for Score?
I definitely believe in Insanity's abilities to carry his team. We saw it in game one where he had around, I think it was 13 kills. So this guy knows how to play this game. Now, for number one, on the back of Insanity, they're doing super well for themselves. And they're starting to have airstrikes and bombers coming in. So if they can force Score Gaming out of those hangars, well, then they will be more open to being taken down by those airstrikes and bombers.
Yeah, I mean, this is the legacy of the tier 3 armor coming in, courtesy of Dulzy's suggestion. We're also seeing Insanity here, you know, throwing grenades around, getting kills, getting taken out by grenades in turn. The lethality of grenades in general, much higher than it used to be, so that assault class with the 3 grenades in pocket, much more viable. And as we see there, grenades getting kills left and right.
And well, if we could pull up the scoreboard kind of it, then you would be able to see that right now Danny's not really having the time of his life. Haven't found a kill yet, has died 4 times, but the opposite number of him on the side of number one, that is currently Taco. Taco. That guy is doing so well for himself, picking up 7 kills, having an accuracy of nearly 60%. So this guy, he is on fire.
I mean, this does raise the big question for Score Gaming. We know Danny is the savior of the team. So, you know, if you're coming to this as an outside observer, you might say, well, why isn't Danny just, you know, doesn't play out of their mind all the time? My assumption is that it takes its toll on Danny to play at that kind of level. So I think that's why we don't see Danny always playing like an absolute crazy person, because it's unsustainable for a whole series, especially in a best of 5 series like this. So it's going to be the rest of Score Gaming who need to step up and fill in that blank while Danny's recharging. And I'm sure Danny's services will be called on again, but they can't be called on every moment of every game.
And Score Gaming, they need to have everyone step up if they want to erase history. Historically, it has always been number one coming out ahead. Remember Blue September Cup number 2. Number 1, they won 2-0 against Score Gaming in the semifinals. So they have that advantage in terms of what history tells us. But number 1 now are falling a little bit behind, and Score Gaming, they want to show that they can create new history.
Number 1 are getting pretty aggressive here, but it is rolling the dice, and so far Score Gaming are managing to stay ahead in these trades. The gap is falling, so it's still anybody's game to play, but so far we've had one game heavily in favor of number 1, one game heavily in favor of Score. This could be our first game where the outcome is in doubt up until the very end.
It could very well be decided by 1 or 2 kills right here, Counterfeit. Thus far, 36-36. Score Gaming and number 1. They are even, and neither of these two teams are giving up. They are grouping up, and they are waiting for the other team to make that lethal mistake. Number one currently sitting in one hangar, and same goes for Score Gaming all the way to the south of this map.
Yeah, we can keep an eye on the global map and see that it's number one who break out from Hangar 01, heading towards the supply hangar in the middle of the map and trying to bust through. It's dead even between the two teams, but you have to know the moment that either team comes into contact, that will change so quickly. We've got Taco providing the long-range fire support while coming in from the side. It's going to be Veterans and the rest of the team, but interestingly enough, number one seem to have been satisfied with just taking that single kill. Are they going to try and run the clock out and force Score Gaming to come to them?
As you said, time is running out. 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go. Number one having 2 airstrikes coming in and drones. They're forcing Score Gaming to come to them. And with the help of those perks, they will be able to pick up the kills. Now, number one ahead by 2 kills, just passing those 40 kills. But same goes for Score Gaming. And we have 50 seconds left to go in this game. But number one, they're sitting comfortable with a 2-kill lead.
I don't know how long that's going to last, though. Yeah, we've got just 45 seconds left to play. Every shot counts. I mean, this is the time, I think, when you really want to have those assault weapons in here, because if you miss the shot with the BSW, it is that bolt action. You may not get a second chance, but perhaps the second chance is not required for Insanity. And the rest of number one, though, Assassin drops a pitch-perfect grenade and blows up. Veterans still pouring out the points. It's coming down to the wire.
A kill for kill trade. Now, 1 kill is all they need. And number one, they will pick it up off of Taco, picking up that last kill. 4 kills was all Score Gaming they needed. What a heartbreak. So close and yet so far.
That will be officially our closest game so far. And yep, you call it right back at the beginning. We needed someone to step up for number one. We thought it was going to be Insanity, but it was actually Taco by the end who really went off crazily. You notice Insanity, 13 points in the first game. Danny, 16 points. Taco hits the new height with 17. Also with one of the lowest deaths on their team as well. Real impressive stuff from them. Our YouTube giveaway remains in place, but if number one can pull it off again, then they will become our champions, and our tournament and giveaway will cease right there and then. For now, though, we will be going to break. Do not go anywhere. We will be back with the next encounter between number one and Score Gaming right after the break. Alright guys, welcome back and to the continuation of our grand finals. So, just to cover briefly before we get into the game, you may notice that the score is different up the top of the page than you may have expected based on the results of last game. So our admin Soldier Girls had to make a decision based on the actions of number one in the last game. I'm discussing this only on the stream just for any of you guys who are ESL players, just to really highlight this rule which was infracted in the last game. The 5 players that you start the game with must be the 5 players that you play the game with. Even if someone disconnects, you can't have someone else come in and take their place, which is what number one did last time round. So that particular round has been awarded to Score, and number one will have to win 2 games in a row to take the first place and that €100 prize. Score Gaming, just a single one. Let's see how it happens on Vantage.
And well, they are coming out fairly good here from the start. 8-3, make that 9-4, as you see a lot of kills coming in. And number one, they are the ones ahead of the curve.
Yeah, well, if number one are going to make up for lost time, that's certainly the way they want to do it. 11 kills in 1 minute is really, really good. I'm sure we're going to see some attempt at resetting from Score here. They don't want to continue this current trajectory, which is disastrous. Perhaps a change of pace, trying to bring things down. We're going to see Score Gaming moving forward as a squad, backing each other up as Danny takes down Insanity, and the grenade spam comes in to try and allow Score Gaming through, but they will not make it this time.
Yeah, but Farm coming in here and picking up a few kills with that shotgun, just shutting down the push from Score Gaming and resetting the entire map. Now Score Gaming still behind 7 kills. It's not looking good for them. And number one, they are finding kills all over the place, and we haven't even played 2 minutes yet. Counterfeit.
So let's take what we've learned so far in this series. Taco, Insanity, 2 power players for the number one team. Danny, dependable in a crisis, but not necessarily all series long. The leader of Score Gaming, Go4MC5, who's currently down at the moment, which is why I'm not switching to them, there we go, tends to be the rock of Score Gaming. You know, Go4MC5 performs well nearly all the time, but it's not seeming like it's enough on Vantage. Score don't have to win this game, and I think that might be what's taking the edge off them a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely aren't trying as hard as they could. One could say it's looking like they are giving up a lot of easy kills, but talking about them not trying as hard as they could, they just found a lot of kills and are now very close to evening out the game, despite number one having that auto turret up here. Now only 2 kills away from number one. But when I say that, Danny comes in and picks up even more kills for Score Gaming, and well, this game is just so close. Counterfeit.
Yeah, exactly what we want to see. So we've got the real, I think, beast modes being engaged from both sides here. Score Gaming almost brought it back to parity, but the moment you try and take a breath in this game, everything goes to hell. Danny is starting to emerge toward that final form. He is, in fact, the standout player of this game already. Note on the Recon class, but has got that heavy firepower as well to complement the boss. This time though, Insanity wins out that trade, and maybe number one can start getting back onto the high ground.
And often you know that the high ground is the best ground to stand at. Score Gaming needs 17 kills. Number one are past that 40 kill mark, so are sitting more comfortable, can lean back just a little bit, but can't get too cocky, can't get too comfortable, or they will lose the grand final right here and right now.
Yeah, Go4MC5's getting a couple there, but Taco has been stepping up. I mean, look at that kill-death ratio. A little spoiled by dying immediately, of course, but 10 and 3 as a result of that last kill is extremely strong individual performance. But Score have crested over 40. Number one, though, are more than halfway to done as Taco keeps getting those kills through. While this Taco survives, Score Gaming's hopes will die.
Taco coming up with 11 kills in this match. Counterfeit. And now number one and Score Gaming, they will be even. It all comes down to one game right here to decide whether or not it's going to be Score Gaming or if it is going to be number one that will go home with that $100 prize pool.
Alright guys, we will be headed to break for the final time at this stream. YouTube giveaway remains in place. Do remember guys, you only need to enter in once. Nightbot will collect your entries automatically, and if you enter in multiple times, Nightbot will become angry and smite your entry from existence entirely, no matter how many you do. For now though, we'll be headed to the land of the breaks. Number 1 versus Score Gaming, the decider, coming up after the break. Alright guys, welcome back. 2 games apiece. Number 1 and Score Gaming clash for the last time this evening. One shall stand, one shall fall. And only one of these two will take home the €100 and the top billing, the top seeding for the last Blue tournament of September.
And it's time for Score Gaming to show that they are the better team, to show that when number 1 they knocked them out of Blue September 2, that was just merely a setback, and that Score Gaming, they have become the better team between these two teams.
Well, I mean, you say that, yes, but I'm going to take the opposing side just to be contrary. Number 1, you know, they showed up pretty darn well last time round. They had a pretty convincing victory, a 9-kill advantage I think number one have got what it takes to push it over the edge here. I know we've got a lot of fans for both teams in the audience, so we'll just see. Certainly in the museum, we've got these sightlines for the snipers in different sections, but we've also got places like the sarcophagus room here, where close range fighting can be all important. Taco firing over the top. Doesn't quite manage to push through that kill there as Score Gaming. Looks like they're building up the defenses around the sarcophagus, trying to pick off number one players as they show their faces. Bear in mind, this is not Rush, this is a team battle. So, we will be seeing regular respawns in as opposed to the more slow and steady approach of Rush.
You know what, Counterfeit, you mentioned that number one, they have that ability to come back in this game. And you know what? One thing is for sure, that this game will be so close, that these two teams, they are so close to each other in terms of their styles of playing, and that this game will definitely go down in history and, well, might even have to be kept in a museum.
Well, they won't have to go far at least. But we'll see. We shall see. Certainly pretty darn even so far. So, let's look. Who have we got on this stage? Of course, Danny, we've talked about that beast mode being available for Score Gaming. If there's ever going to be a game to try and drain the tanks of Danny to push out the best performance possible, it's going to be here and now with everything on the line. But you've got, on the other side, you've got Taco, you've got Insanity, both potent players, but so far for number one, particularly in Insanity's case, haven't found the right fights, haven't started pumping up those points that number one needs so desperately.
For Score Gaming, however, Arcade is showing up, having found 4 kills already for his team. Definitely helps them rack up this lead that they have of 2 kills thus far, but number one not giving up. Go4M picks up another kill. Insanity picks up yet a kill on Coco, and that means that we are at a 14-14 kill score.
At 15-15 now, dead even, and while the traditional carries of number one haven't had the strongest of games, it's other members like Veterans who are stepping up and keeping things incredibly even. Insanity's starting to find their feet now. Fell really far behind in the opening going, but it's starting to even up. Arcade, the big standout. We've got 6 and 2 for team captain of number one Bofon, and for their opposite, well, not their opposite number, but Arcade, the top player for Score.
But you can see how close this game is by looking at the scoreboard. The top fraggers 6 kills, the second top fraggers 5 kills. They are just so close right here, and nobody's really separating themselves from the crowd. And with 3 minutes left to go, number one and Score Gaming, neither of them are pulling away from their opponent.
The last fight did go pretty heavily in the favour of number one, but it might have actually gone a bit too well as Score Gaming will come in. But oh my god,
Veterans!
Wow, that was crazy! That corridor fight turned into a massacre in a moment.
And that was what number one they needed right there, just to get that kill lead right there, and the tempo rolling for them. Now Score Gaming, they are fighting their way back. They are only behind 2 kills, 3 kills make that, but are definitely not out of the game yet.
Coco doing some real nice work before getting blown up, but that 3 kill difference is remaining in place for a while. But Score Gaming doing everything they can to try and erase. Rush in, Assassin gets cut down, and there's a huge pickup. I think number one may have wiped out nearly all of Score Gaming in one broad sweep. Incredibly well done. Score Gaming have to fight back. It's still close, but when number one can pull off a feat like that, it's only a heartbeat away from being over.
Score Gaming, they need to reset this game. Just take the tempo back into their hands, because number one getting closer and closer to 50 kills, and it's not looking good for Score Gaming at all.
Number one so close they can taste it as Logan deploying the heavy class, making great use of that slack to blow through. One more kill's gonna do it. Can number one find that kill? They will, courtesy of their captain Bofon. Number one will be our champions.
well played by number one, and that means that they will be able to take home the grand prize of $100 right here. It was such a close game between Score Gaming and number one, and number one being able to fight their way back, picking up 2 games in a row. What a feat.
Yeah, incredibly well played from both these teams. On a different day, I think it could have easily gone Score Gaming's way, but that's not today. Right now, number one have fought back, and they have, they put out the performance they needed to. They win by 6 points, which, looking back at records, I think is going to be one of our closest matches of last time round. I think that's the same score as game number 4. So hey, number one, they pulled through when it counts. Both teams giving us absolutely everything, and we can only thank them for that. To end out today's stream, we will have our YouTube draw, so let's have a look who that's going to be. Hero Gaming MC5, oh boy. Hero Gaming, if you could put your details into the chat, we will have one last custom game before we end things this evening. So Hero Gaming, hope you will post your details in shortly. And I believe Jesper's had to drop out for a minute, so he'll be back next weekend. We will, of course, be having our next 2 tournaments over the course of tomorrow, the monthly finals and the regular tournament. So please do check the ESL website if you want to see what times those are in your local time. For now, though, I'm going to create that game to take us to the end. It's going to be a free-for-all. We'll go back to the museum for the final time. ESL 1, 2, 3. Hopefully we're going to get some people from the competition joining in. We'll see. I can make no promises. Tier 7 or below, Tier 3 armor or below. Come on, come all to end out this particular tournament. And congratulations once more to number one for becoming our champions, and to Score Gaming for putting up one hell of a fight. Of course, these guys will be back more than a few times, I'm certain. They're all fighting for those places in the monthly finals. So, once that September monthly finals does come up, which is usually roughly at the end of October, they will return. And we'll see if number one can keep their place at the top. So yes, Whiskey MC5. The finals are tomorrow, are the blue finals, I believe. Yes, so we've got Red September Cup number 5 at 3 o'clock UK time. And the Blue August finals at 9 o'clock UK time. Hacksaw, I believe, will be back in for those, or at least for the monthly finals. Hero Gaming, thank you for your details. And you are officially our YouTube winner. So, Montrax Peter, our winner on Mob Crush and Twitch, a lucky fella. Or lady, I have no idea. J Sid Hills, our winner on Facebook, and Hero Gaming, our winner on YouTube. So, we'll see if people are still around to join in this free-for-all. It's quite possible everyone has gone off to their well-earned rest at the end, but we shall see, we shall see. PDX, welcome back. And Bsaw, good advice for any occasion. Phew. Wow, man. I hope you guys did enjoy our finals there. That was absolutely fantastic. Said, really impressed by both number one and Score. You know, this is what the competition allows for it. You see the development of the teams. You know, Score, a long time, a team that were kind of always struggling to get past the semi-finals. You know, stepped up to the plate here, did extremely well for themselves. You know, for all the teams to take part in the competition today, you know, only one team can win out any given tournament, but it's about how you play in the individual games. I'm actually going to have a quick look through number one. I think we did look through their records before, and yes, winners back in September number 2. against Destiny, Score, Elite Crew, and Clock Strike. So, I'll put it this way, it's not a fluke that number 1 won here today. Alright, let's see if we can just find a couple more bodies to come and join in. But if not, I guess we'll just start with these two guys. Hero Gaming Simon, thank you for your well wishes. I'll do my best to get myself me old nap and hopefully shift this cold. Alright, it doesn't look like we're going to get anyone else coming in. So if you want to join in, of course, just use the passkey ESL123. But for now, we'll get started and we'll make this a dual museum. A dual-seum? Yeah, that's the best I can do at this kind of night. If you want to sleep, I would definitely go to sleep. The stream is basically over in an official capacity at this point, so we've just got this free-for-all. If you're tired, much as I am, I would recommend the sweet embrace of sleep. It is the most valuable thing, after all. Alright, PDX and BSAR. The winner of the giveaway has already come and gone. Hero Gaming Simon was our YouTube giveaway winner. So wait no longer. I'm afraid there's only one winner in our regular tournament. So this is the regular tournament. We only do double giveaways for the monthly finals, which will be tomorrow at 9 o'clock UK time. Ooh, a new challenger appears. Champagne et Pomosa. Yes, always nice to see. Well wishes. As we come to the end of another wonderful tournament. BSW 777. Count to 10. 777 in Japanese. How do you say that?
777.
Oh man. Nanachu? Oh man, I'm not going to get that one. I need to see that written down before I stand a chance. It's 6 AM here. Oh boy. Where are you based? You must be... You're 3 hours ahead? Are you in Romania like the Gameloft developers? I think that's actually slightly further east. So like, maybe Russia? I'm not sure. Man, Museum sounds weirdly quiet with only 3 people playing in it. Because there's not just constant sounds of explosions everywhere. I thought my sound had stopped working because I wasn't hearing constant kabooms. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's because you've got people with silencers fighting against each other. Oh, there we go. That's something a bit more familiar. So, all the usual stuff. If any of you guys still watching, haven't followed Modern Combat on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, then please do so. It makes them very happy. You can find Jesper, my co-commentator today, at Ben Varmeren on the old Twitter, which is BenVarmeren. Not the easiest thing to spell in the world, but he assures me he's going to change that name fairly soon, so we'll see how it goes. You can find me at Counterfeit Cast. Well, it doesn't look like we're really in any danger of running into a three-way tie situation because OMS Mini doing a fantastic job so far. Ah, Dylan Cannon and Salidar. Alright, 3 minutes left to play. B-Sal doing a pretty nice job of catching up. Georgia Tbilisi? Hello, friends. Georgia, if you post what platform you play on, iOS, PC, or Android, dog tags are dependent on platform. So if you're looking for people to play with, which is a really good idea, then if you post your, not just your dog tag, but also your platform. Also, if you're not part of the ESL Discord already, I would really recommend heading there if you'd like to make some Modern Combat 5 playing friends, because everybody there plays Modern Combat 5. So it's a good place as any to find someone, or some people to hang out with. And if you find the right group, you can always end up playing it in ESL competition as well, which ain't too shabby. Ah, you've got Discord. Well, maybe you can make friends with Georgia Tbilisi. So congratulations once more to our tournament winners, #1, and to our runners-up, Score Gaming, and to all the other teams who took part in today's competition. All very well done. I hope at the end of the stream that you will all remember to drink your delicious water, look after yourselves, make sure you get plenty of rest, and don't be like me and you and stay up all night with Modern Combat 5. There's a time and a place. But sure to appreciate all of you guys coming along and supporting the stream. Alright, 30 seconds for OMS to stay in the lead, but B-Sal doing a pretty amazing job actually of coming back into this one. We'll check in with our leader OMS, who has also switched across to the Recon. Tete Agua. We won't be playing Android today, but we will be back with it in a couple of weeks. Once the server merge goes through, all of the iOS tournaments we do will also be Android. So that's something to look forward to if you're an Android player, is you'll get a lot more tournaments to take part in. So, like this weekend we've got 4 iOS tournaments. Once the server merge goes through, we'll have 4 iOS and Android tournaments. So that'll be great. For now though guys, congratulations to OMS Mini for being our best performing player from there. B-Sal almost caught up. They couldn't quite make it this time. For now though, I've been Peter Canavat Hartnell, joined by Jesper Ben Varmer and Kans for the duration of the stream. Roko's Gameplay Gaming, and you and everybody, thank you so much for watching, and good night.